Alright, we're back in God's basement here. So we're just starting in on chapter either 7 or 8, I think.
I think this is supposed to be 9.
Or 9, okay.
Yeah.
There's, I think, 11 chapters in the game,
yeah.
so... okay.
Oh, we're back here.
So we have to do all of that stuff
no.
over. Well, that's fine, because... Yeah,
Well,
okay, so there's no task list here at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, now we know what to do, so like, let's just run to our room. And just be like, oh, Sorrow, look at this. Oh, I hope this isn't a trigger. Oh, man, really would hate to go grab the hammer from the basement and board up that room, you know? Because I've never seen this section of the game before. You know, so like...
I guess you have to check the list first.
That's fine. We can get the hammer, though. Hammer time! And we know there's nothing to do down the basement, so we can just turn this light off right away.
Yep.
Alright, so there should be a task list. Yep, there's a list here now on the table. Clean up plates, hide the knife under our bed, check email, nail wood planks to the door, turn off all lights. Okay. So now there should be some broken plates on the floor. Yep. Zoop. Clean. Alright, just remember this time to walk into Grandma and not run away from Grandma.
Hopefully that is it.
Speed run. Oh, is that light on? Who puts the bathroom light on and then closes the door? Sorry, Grandma. Had to be done.
Do the knife first.
Oh yeah, knife. Forgot about the knife.
Didn't you grab it?
No, I forgot all about it.
Oh, okay.
Thank God for this sweet yellow plastic flashlight you get in an emergency kit for your car. Do you have those over in Europe? Like emergency, I know driving's not like not a huge thing over there, but like in America you can get like these like emergency like roadside kits, and the hell I'm trying to walk here, game. There we go.
I'm sure they sell those, but
and like inside of these kits are like these really shitty like orange cones to put on the road that will just blow over if someone just like blew on them with their mouth. And then they have like this really crappy yellow plastic flashlight that feels like you're gonna break it if you pick it up. It is unfortunate that you have declined our scholarship program. Thank you for applying, and we hope that you are successful in all your future academic endeavors. Okay. Flip the light. Flip. Did I miss the slice switch? Flip. So we didn't have to open up all those nightstands, apparently.
Nope.
Alright, we're gonna go back to sleep. Look at that speed run, man. We did that in 4 minutes.
That was fast.
Yeah, this is world record. This is kind of like the crappiest part right here, because like you can hear like the subtle footsteps and stuff, but like, it just takes so long.
It's pretty long. They could have made it a lot faster.
So like, is that the? So what I'm confused of is the door opening sound right there, right? Like, it's not Grandma's door opening because you don't hear it close. It's like, well, whose door is opening?
I think it's supposed to be that one for sure, but yeah.
Alright, where's Grandma? Where you at, Grandma? Right, here we go. So, like, here's one of two things is going to happen. We're going to walk towards Grandma, and she's going to jump at us, or she's just going to disappear.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
see?
Okay.
Oh, there's a note!
Was that there?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Pain, are you full of it? Patience, are you out of it? When will her scratch out your suffering end?
Okay, that door must be open now, right?
It has to be. No.
Or not.
Yeah, I don't know if that note was there last time or not.
Probably.
Oh, the TV's on now.
Pain, are you full of it? Patience, are you out of it? James, when will your suffering end? You wanted her to die, didn't you? Not for her sake, but for your own. You yearned for her death, not because her suffering would cease. It was because yours would cease as well.
Did we kill Grandma?
I'm still not sure.
Dude, imagine if we killed Grandma. Like, it's still not interactable. Oh.
That's new.
Well, that's on now. Today I found my laptop broken. I left her alone for just a few minutes while I was in the bathroom, and I guess she walked into my bedroom and had an episode. I'll have to drain my savings in order to replace it. He's getting mad. Is it broken? It's not...
Not this... Well...
I mean... A simple Windows repair disk would fix that. So he's getting more and more frustrated with Granny. Basement? I mean, this is God's basement, after all. Oh, do you think that's where God is?
I don't know, there hasn't been much basement action.
There really
in
has.
this
It's
game.
been a lot of warehouse action more than anything. Okay. So we need to... Oh.
Do you feel the resentment pulsating through your veins? Do you feel the last breath of patience exiting your body? Do you feel the rage welling up, overflowing, displacing empathy, sympathy, and love? Do you hear it? It's calling you. A way out. Follow it. Let it guide you.
We're gonna kill Granny. 100%.
Yeah, still not sure how we died then. Oh, it's yeah.
We trip over the broken plate, obviously. Like, that door's still locked. Is she down the basement?
Nope.
Nope. Alright, so that leaves one direction to go. Is there music playing? There is.
I don't really hear it.
It's very, very subtle. How do you get in there?
Still nothing.
Oh, it's down here.
Ah. Oh, that's the end of that.
Oh, wow, that was a quick load. Wow, that was a very quick load. This room.
We
there's
made
notes.
it to the basement. That's a lot of notes.
There's notes that I can't read. There we go. I did something unspeakable. I killed them. I murdered them both. I didn't know what to do. I had nothing left to live for. I'm so sorry. Couple brutally murdered. Last weekend.
While sifting through some old boxes, you found an interesting set of documents that revealed the truth about your past. Your grandparents were involved in an accident that killed your grandfather and your infant brother. It wasn't your grandmother's fault entirely, but your parents couldn't help but put the blame on her. With no family or friends left, living a hopeless and bleak existence, your grandmother decided to murder them. With your parents out of the way, she could raise you all by herself. Her desire was selfish and evil. That was all you needed. A way to justify her death, a way to break the burden of taking care of her. Do you remember what you did? I'll walk you through it once more, just in case you've forgotten.
I told you she killed our parents. A brutal crime scene emerged this weekend within a quiet suburban neighborhood. 2 victims, Neil Young and Sarah Young, were viciously stabbed by an unknown assailant. The 2 parents leave an infant son behind. Authorities do not have a lead, and it was reported that each victim was stabbed over 30 times, resulting in the face of the victims to be heavily distorted and mangled. This brutal crime has shocked the local community. They never answered any of my letters or my calls. I waited an eternity to hear the sound of their voices. Dear Mother, sorry I haven't been answering your calls. I know it wasn't your fault, but losing Kevin and Dad was just taking a toll on all of us. I think Sarah and I just need some time to grieve and accept what happened. Take care. Your son, Neil Young. Okay. A fatal accident that occurred last weekend is currently being investigated. Reports say that an elderly couple along with their infant grandson were driving along an interstate highway when the driver lost control. The vehicle swerved off the road and crashed into a tree. The driver, a retired elderly man by the name of Frank Young, was killed in the accident along with his infant grandson Kevin Young. The only survivor of the crash, Margaret Young, is in stable condition. Rumors suggest that alcohol might have been involved in the incident, but there is insufficient evidence to properly conclude the suspicion. Alright.
Yeah.
So do we just walk right back out then? Is that how this works?
Looks like it.
Yep. Wow, that was an easy chapter.
If that was the entire chapter, that was like... Yeah, crazy fast all of a sudden.
Ooh, red light. You know what that means. You know what the red light means. Oh, there's a lot of red light. Come here, Grandma. Oh, there's a radio in here now.
And a note.
Get the...
Oh, this is...
Get the knife. Get the knife. Get the new radio. Get the phone. Place the knife on her bed. On her bed? Replace the old radio. Place the phone on the table outside the door. Wait outside her room. We're gonna have a knife off. Oh, it's all right here for me. Convenient.
Very good.
Okay, that's locked. So...
Yeah, not much to do then.
Yeah, that was really convenient of the game to let us just do that. Oh, what's this, Bible? Oh, nope, just another checklist. Put the knife on her. Okay, get the knife, yep. Place the knife on her bed. Replace the old radio. Place the phone on the table outside the door. God damn it, it's the same thing. Grandma's room sucks.
I mean, she just sleeps in it.
Dude, look at that new radio he just gave her, dude. That's an upgrade.
Yes, I'm talking to you. Are you listening to me? I know that I might seem suspicious, but for now, I'm going to need you to trust me. Are you in pain? Do you want that pain to go away? I can show you a way out, but you're going to have to do exactly what I say. Don't worry, very soon you won't feel any pain at all. You won't have to suffer any longer. The first thing I want you to do is to grab the knife on your bed. You're doing a great job. It's very sharp, so please be careful with it. The next step is to gently press the knife against your stomach. You're doing a wonderful job. Now, press a little harder. Keep applying more pressure until the knife penetrates the flesh of your stomach. You might feel quite a bit of pain, but that's going to be temporary. You're doing a great job. I want you to pull the knife out. Is there a warm, red fluid gushing out of your stomach? If so, then you applied enough pressure. I know that this might be painful, but pretty soon it's going to be all over. I want you to repeat the process, except now go a little to the right of the original spot. Keep applying pressure until the knife penetrates the flesh. Now that you've done the process twice, for the third time, go to the left of the original spot. Once again, keep applying pressure until the knife penetrates the flesh. You're doing a great job. Now return to the original spot. I want you to jab the knife into the wound 3 times. This time, don't slowly apply pressure. I want you to press the knife into your stomach as hard as you can. Whenever you're ready, go ahead. You're doing a wonderful job. Are you in pain? Are you suffering? I know you are, but don't worry, it'll all go away soon. This is the last step. Are you ready? All you have to do is to repeat the process, except this time, press the knife against your neck. Whenever you're ready, just quickly thrust the knife into your neck. Then very soon, all the pain will go away. That's it. Let it all go. Pass on into the next world, wherever that might be. Goodbye. I can guarantee you will not be missed.
What the hell? See, I told you somebody was getting stabbed in the neck.
Did we let Grandma listen to that and make her kill herself? Or...
That's what it seems like.
Or doesn't...
James, you
Oh,
murdered
yep.
her.
There we go.
You knew about her delusions. She always talked about the man in the radio, so you decided to become that character. You replaced the old radio, and then played an audio file telling her to stab herself repeatedly with a knife. You knew she was delusional and had episodes of schizophrenia. She followed your instructions and eventually bled to death due to her self-inflicted injuries. Since all the evidence pointed to a suicide, you weren't charged with anything. You finally got what you wanted. You were finally free. You might be wondering how exactly you ended up dead. Well, for the first few months, you lived your life carefree. You actually enjoyed life to some extent, not being tied down by an ill relative. But eventually, that all came crashing down. It started off with brief, horrific, gruesome nightmares. Visions of her stabbing herself endlessly, blood gushing out of her wounds, flooding your mind with blood-red guilt. Slowly, these nightmares leaked into your daily life. You'd see her out of the corner of your eye, whether you were driving, walking down the street, or at work. Even though you killed her, she never really left. She lived in your mind and haunted you every day until you eventually couldn't fall asleep. Every time you closed your eyes, even for the briefest of moments, she'd manifest in your subconscious. Eventually, you went to the hospital and you were prescribed sleep medicine, but that only suppressed the issue. Slowly, your body adjusted to the medicine and you needed to increase the dose for the medicine to be effective. This process kept repeating until you were taking multiple times the recommended amount. You were addicted until one night you overdosed on sleep medication. Right now, in this moment, your physical body is currently in a hospital bed, hovering between the thin line of life and death. You're still probably wondering why you're here in God's basement. I'll finally tell you who I am and what this place really is. God's basement is a realm for those who have committed great sin but are still redeemable. The individuals that arrive in God's basement relive their own versions of hell, allowing them to reflect on their life and watch their slow descent into evil. Their resentment, hate, bitterness, and jealousy accumulate until those emotions manifest themselves through atrocious acts, yours being murder. You were backed into a corner, watching your life slowly pass you by. All those opportunities you sacrificed. All that potential wasted. You became bitter and resentful. Many could sympathize with you. Many might have even done the same. You were hopeless, and it felt like you were inside a living hell. I am called the Operator. I am an entity that manifests in God's basement. I manifest myself in different ways depending on the person. My job is to guide the person inside God's basement and allow them to relive their life from a different perspective. In your case, I manifested with many characteristics resembling the man in the radio. Hopefully this explanation cleared everything up. You're still probably wondering what happens now that you have all your memories. I mentioned earlier that God's basement are for those who are still redeemable. Even though you committed an atrocious sin, you were trapped in a hopeless existence. Also, the person you killed wasn't really your grandmother. She was a shell of her former self. Your grandmother died long ago. Part of you wanted to see her suffering cease. Your crime was both cruel and merciful at the same time. You are going to get a second chance at life. Pretty soon you're going to wake up in a hospital bed out of your drug-induced coma. Learn to live with what you did. The feelings of guilt, paranoia, and pain will never completely go away. James. Make the most out of life, and be grateful for this second chance. One last thing. Good luck.
What? So I got a finished achievement for that, but... Is there multiple endings?
I don't know. I still doubt it. Highly.
Could we have just left Granny? And, could we have died instead of being granted a second chance?
I really doubt it. This seems like a very, how do you say it in English? Clear-cut story? Or clean-cut story? What is it? One of those two, probably. Yeah, I was expecting a more unexplained thing. Or a twist, but Well, I guess the twist is that you killed your grandmother, but...
I mean, did we, though?
Yeah, I mean, like, he clearly explains she was basically gone already. She wasn't your real grandmother anymore, but...
I mean, like, did we kill her, though? Like, clearly she killed herself. Like, did we really do it?
I mean, yeah. But, yeah.
What a weird game. Like...
Yeah, I'm not sure if I said it at the start or not, but I did have a feeling like this was like purgatory, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is, but...
We definitely get that sense of purgatory, for sure. Like, real early on, we got that sense of purgatory. But, like I called it, like as soon as we found out that our parents died, I 100% called it right then and there that Grandma killed our parents. So, like, hello, I am the developer of God's Basement. You reached the end, and I want to say thank you for playing through the whole game. I'm still pretty new to creating video games, so I hope the experience was bearable. Hopefully you enjoy the experience. Maybe someday you'll play another one of my games if I'm able to release another one. Thanks again, Erebus. Alright, so... I didn't know if it was going to, like, transition to another screen or not, so I read it as fast as I could.
Right. No, it's stuck here, yeah.
So, like, when we got to the family tree, right, it showed, like, the family tree and it showed who was dead and whatnot.
Yeah.
And, like, it showed us being dead. So, like, we knew that we were, I guess, dead, you know? Like, even though at the end it says, you are walking that thin line of life and death.
Yeah,
like,
that was a little weird.
Which was weird. But, like, we would just say, for the sake of simplicity, that we were dead. So, like, we were in purgatory. And, like, I was like, okay, we figured out that we had a brother. He died. And our grandfather died because of drunk driving. And, like, as soon as they got to the point where it's like, our parents aren't talking to Grandma, and Grandma's just, like, increasingly getting annoyed, and all of a sudden it's like, your parents have died. It's like, okay, well, Grandma killed our parents. Like, that's pretty predictable cut and dry right there. Like, that's just how that's going to be. But then it's like, okay, well, like, we're technically dead. Like, James is dead, right? And James is about to leave the house. Like, Grandma's gonna kill James, right? And all of a sudden, it's like... And, like, the way that I think they depicted it, because, like, Grandma would be, like, standing there in a dark hallway. Or Grandma would be, like, sitting there next to a lit candle. Or, like, you know, like, it made it look like Grandma was gonna kill you. And then eventually, like, plot twist, like... You lock Grandma in a bedroom and tell her to stab herself like 13 times.
Yeah.
And then the game ends. It's like, and then it's like, you've been granted a second life because technically your grandma was still alive, but it wasn't your grandma's personality anymore, and she murdered your parents. It's like, okay, like...
Yeah,
I don't know.
She like actually murdered people. Like, it's a gray area, really. Like, yes, you set her up to kill herself, but I mean, yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, like, she killed our parents.
Right.
Like, straight up. Like, killed her parents to the point where they couldn't be recognizable anymore, almost.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, you didn't plan on making her kill herself until you found out that she killed your parents, so it's kind of more like a revenge thing anyways in that case. I mean...
And really, like, does she know who she was anymore?
I highly doubt it.
Because, like, I felt like, you know, the game was like, and her condition increasingly got worse and worse and worse. And I feel like, you know, I'm like, they said already, like, our second year of high school, she already didn't know, like, who she was or who we were. Yeah. And we were already, like, taking care of her, like, on a pretty micro level. Like, I feel like if we fast forward, like, another 5 or 6 years, like, you either put her into hospice or, like, you figure out, like, where, like, some, like, publicly funded thing to do with her. Because, like, that's just how that has to work. Like, I understand, and then if they wouldn't have bought that industrial-sized refrigerator, James could probably have afforded to put her in a nursing home.
Right. That is absolutely true. So yeah, the story does take some liberties here and there to make it a horror story, I guess. Well, yeah.
I think what made it more of like a horror game was just simply this, like, I will give the developer this, like, atmospherically, phenomenal job. Like, they did a phenomenal job atmospherically making you feel uncomfortable. Grandma, definitely a ripoff of Lisa from Silent Hill, right? Especially from PT. A pretty big ripoff, but nonetheless, it's been proven to be successful. Jump scares are always part of a horror game, no matter what type of game it is, whether it's, you know, a single A or a triple A title, indie game. Like, jump scares are just part of the horror genre life. The thing I think what I disliked my biggest dislike of the game were the triggers. Those were my biggest dislikes in the game. And like what made the triggers bad were two things. Like, early on, you kind of knew what the triggers were. They were a little bit more defined at the start. Then as you progressed through the game, they were less and less defined as you progressed. And also the triggers were very finicky to actually trigger. Like, when we got to like the one with like when we had to break the plate on the wall, like, that took us like 20 minutes to figure out where the trigger was just to break the plate on the wall. So like that was probably my biggest complaint of the game. My second complaint of the game was like I get now was the ending. Like, I personally wanted a different ending, but like the story leading up was okay, but like the ending was just like, you killed my. It was like a Batman ending. You killed my parents. Now I do something bad to you. And it's like, okay, well, neat. You know, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I expected a bit more, like, horror. Like don't get me wrong. Like I said, atmospheric wise, it was really good. Like, but the problem I had was like it was always either way too dark, or you had to rely on like a trigger to happen, and like if you weren't looking in the right direction, like if something was supposed to scare you when you trigger something, like you would miss it because of how finicky the triggers were.
Yeah, and also like having to zoom in for like a quote unquote extended period of time, it's not great because then you start missing things. But yeah. Well, I mean, if this is one of his first games that he or she made, and I mean, there's lessons to be learned from that, and I think they realized themselves that the triggers weren't all that great,
Right.
And I think in these last two chapters, or like chapter 8 and chapter 11, I guess, or chapter 8 and 10, like you get the list, do this. Because otherwise it's gonna get too complicated to figure out on your own. So I think they tried to turn that around, at least in the end. Which was kind of necessary. Like, I like the puzzles throughout that one chapter with all the halls repeating. But yeah, then the trigger...
Yeah.
The trigger box, I guess you can call it. I don't know. Was a little bit too wonky to do that. But... I mean, overall, it was a cool game to watch, at least. Like, I said it myself before, maybe I don't like playing these types of games, but I do like seeing them being played, even though they make me want to throw up after a while, sadly. So
yeah, I was trying to limit my zooming and whipping around as much as I could, because I know these types of games like make you a little nauseous and whatnot because like the motion sickness, but I would say like my favorite chapter was the looping hallways, because like especially when we got to like the pictures where you had to like spell out the words like in order. Like I thought that was super cool. Like that whole like looping hallway section like definitely reminded me of PT quite a bit, but like also like I thought it was very, very well done. It might have been one of the more well done chapters of the game.
Yeah. I like the phone thing as well. Where you kept picking it up and it was like, why is it not helping? And the game literally says, don't pick up, basically. But yeah, that was a fun one to figure out, at least.
Yeah, I don't know, cool game. Like, honestly, like, it being the first game or second, third, whatever it may be, like, it's a good game. Like, I have my complaints because I'm just a complainer. But, like, overall, it's a good game and definitely worth a playthrough. Like, if y'all are looking for, like, if y'all are looking for a horror game, like, this one's not bad. Like, if you're looking for, like, a psychological horror more than, like, horror, this is a decent one. The best thing they did in this game was not have a chasing event. I absolutely hate being chased in a game.
Yep.
hate
it's never
hate
fun.
being chased in a video game. And the second thing they did good, I didn't need batteries for the flashlight.
Yeah.
Those are the two crowning moments of this game. No resources needed, no chase event at all. Decent puzzles, moderately cool story. It gave me a Batman vibe at the end. And I don't know. I couldn't connect with. I really wanted Grandma to kill us, honestly. I honestly wanted Grandma to kill us. I didn't want us to kill Grandma or Grandma to commit suicide. I wanted Grandma to kill us.
Yeah, I mean that is the twist. So, is it a great twist? Yeah, not really. But I mean, yeah. At least it played with your expectations of Grandma always chasing you. So, yeah.
Yeah, Grandma killing us. The police shoot Grandma, and then we come back to life.
Yeah.
Like that's how it ends right there. And then we drive away in a red convertible with a hot blonde.
Yeah, I don't know. Like this came out in like 2018, I believe. So that's pretty long ago. I'm gonna check real quick if they made more. Can you do that actually? Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can click on the developer.
No. So this is the only game they have released on Steam. So yeah, maybe they're working on something else. I don't know. It has mostly positive reviews, at least this one. So
yeah, it's not a bad game. It reminds me a lot of Stanley Parable.
Yeah.
If you've ever played or watched Stanley Parable, obviously Stanley Parable has like 800 different endings, but like the actual like play style of the game, where you basically walk through an office and like you end up in like different figments of imagination or history or whatever, like it really plays like a Stanley Parable game.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, that's it for God's Basement. Yeah. Next time I have to pick a game. But
yeah, I'm curious what you're gonna pick. I'm kind of curious what you're gonna pick.
Yeah, because
I know it won't be a first person.
Definitely not. Plus, like all I have lined up that I really want to play are like 8 to 10 hour games. So I don't know. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I think my next set is gonna be like those Mad Cat horror games, like Red Bow and My Big Sister and stuff like that.
Something like very small.
Yeah. Pixel horror games.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, this was fun. I hope everyone enjoyed watching the series of it. Like, the game itself took us like 5-ish hours.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been
hours.
like that. We picked this because it was like 2 hours normally, but I guess either we are dumb or the triggers really did not work for us or something.
Both.
Yeah. Both, probably.
Both. Yeah. Alright. Well, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoy it. And next time, Mo will be playing, and I will be the one sitting back and commentating and being that person. So
yeah.
Hopefully next time Grandma kills the person and not, the other way around.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna look up a game where Grandma kills somebody.
Yes.